Namaskar Bondhura. Hi friends. So we will continue learning about verbs which are associated with our sense organs. Today we are going to deal with the ears. The commonly used word for ear in Bengali is kan. The less common Sanskritized word for ear in Bengali is korno. Now this is the same word, same spelling, same pronunciation, uh, word used for Karno, Karn, which is the prince in Mahabharat. So just make a differentiation from the context of the sentence. Quick recap: verb forms change with the person, the degree of formality of the subject, not with the number, not with the gender. We are learning the semi formal version of the verbs which end in E, O, and A or I. Last time we learned the words dekha and takano for the verbs associated with the eyes. Today we are going to learn the verb shona, which means to hear. Shona, to hear. Now we also saw there were three verb groups. If we look at shona, shona ends in a, so we can put it into the group 2 verbs, and hence it will just follow the same rule as the group 2 verbs. For group 2, we just replace the ending vowel a with e, o, and a to form the conjugated verb forms. So in case of Shona also we will do that. So Shona becomes Shuni, Shono, and Shone. আমি শুনি, আমরা শুনি, তুমি শোনো, তোমরা শোনো, ও শোনে, ওরা শোনে। আমি শুনি, আমরা শুনি, তুমি শোনো, তোমরা শোনো, ও শোনে, ওরা শোনে। Negations, again super easy, just add na after the verb. So আমি শুনি না, আমরা শুনি না, তুমি শোনো না, তোমরা শোনো না, ও শোনে না, ওরা শোনে না। Let's have a look at some examples now. আমি ওসব জ্ঞানের কথা শুনি না। আমি ওসব জ্ঞানের কথা শুনি না। আমি, the subject at the beginning of the sentence, the negative form of the verb শুনি না at the end of the sentence. The rest of the sentence is the object portion. Again, when we learned about pointers, we learned a, o, she. So এসব is all these, ওসব is all those. So আমি ওসব জ্ঞানের কথা শুনি না। I don't listen to all those words of wisdom. সবাই শোনো, everyone listen. This is basically only the subject and the verb. So this is a very, how should I say, short and simple, short, sweet, simple sentence. The subject and the verb, no object in between. সবাই শোনো। আমার কথাটা একবার শোনো। আমার কথাটা একবার শোনো। শোনো, the verb is at the end. Notice that the verb form is in the second person form. So the subject should have been you, either singular or plural, but there is no you in the sentence, so you probably would have guessed that the subject here has been omitted because it's understood when I am talking to you, I can drop the you. Okay, আমার কথাটা একবার শোনো, listen to me once. uh, Notice that amar, the pronoun here, is in the possessive form and not in the subject form. So amar kothata goes to the object portion of the sentence and not, it does not belong to the subject portion. So take notice that even if there is a pronoun present, it may not be the subject of the sentence. So notice whether the pronoun is in the subjective form or the possessive form in this case, or it might be a object pronoun as well. In this sentence, we don't have an object pronoun, but there might be one in other sentences. ভালো ছেলেমেয়েরা বাবা মার কথা শোনে। ভালো ছেলেমেয়েরা বাবা মার কথা শোনে। শোনে is the verb at the end of the sentence. The subject here is ভালো ছেলেমেয়েরা. The entire word group forms the subject. Chele means boys. Chele means boy. Me means girl. Ra means it is a plural. So chele meera. So in English, we say boys and girls, like both words go into the plural form. In Bengali, we can say bhalo chelera, bhalo meera, like good boys, good girls. But generally, when we put uh, two similar class of verbs next to each other, we can just change the second uh, second noun form to the plural, and it will encompass the earlier noun as well. So bhalo chele mera here implies that the boys are also in plural, and mera anyways has the ra at the end of it, so it signals a plural word. So bhalo chele mera is the entire subject group, so it's taken as a one group of boys and girls, good boys and girls. Listen to what parents have to say. So in Bengali, we use baba ma together, like father and mother together, to imply parents. We don't have a specific word for parents. We just use father and mother. So let's have a look at a non-literal example. Shuneo na shona. When we learned about inclusiveness and exclusiveness, we learned that adding o to a verb makes it inclusive. So shuneo means even after including the act of listening, or even after hearing, you are not hearing. So it means shuneo na shona means even after hearing, the person is not hearing what is to be heard. So again, it means that you are deliberately ignoring something or someone. This is very similar to the construct we learned last time, dekhyo na dekha. So dekhyo na dekha also means to ignore someone deliberately. Dekhyo na dekha means even after looking, you are not looking. Shuneo na shona means even after hearing, you are not hearing. His lesson name is part of a song by Rabindranath Tagore. That is, it is part of a Rabindra Sangeet. I think we have used this song once before in one of the lessons, but since it was a nice song and fits the context, I thought why not repeat it again. So here it goes. তুমি কেমন করে গান করো হে গুণী, আমি অবাক হয়ে শুনি, কেবল শুনি তুমি কেমন করে গান করো হে গুণী. Till now, we have divided all the verbs we have learned into three verb groups. Group 1 ends in wa. So for conjugating them, we subtract the wa and add in e, o, and I for the first, second, and third persons. In group 2, we just change the ending a to e, o, and a to form the conjugations. And in group 3, we just take out no and add in e, o, and I to form the conjugations. Um, Also, one thing we talked about earlier as well, that we need to understand the context, because a lot of these have homonyms or near homonyms in Bengali itself. So, for example, today we talked about the verb Shona, which means to listen, but Shona in Bengali also stands for gold. So you have to pay attention to the context of the sentence to understand whether the Shona being talked about is the gold mm, or the listening verb. So in some cases, there are differences in the spelling, but if you are just listening to someone speak, then you need to be aware of the context because the spellings will not be available in that case. Also, pay attention to inflections. They give important information about the underlying tone of the meaning. For today's homework, let's try to understand what the singer is saying. For your information, this is Sachin Dev Burman or Shochin Dev Burman as we pronounce it in Bengali. You might have heard this tune in some other Hindi song because Sachin Dev Burman was a very famous music composer both in Bengal as well as in Bollywood. শোনো গো দক্ষিণ হাওয়া প্রেম করেছি আমি শোনো গো দক্ষিণ হাওয়া প্রেম করেছি আমি This is the word list for today. Come back and have a look whenever you need to. That's it for today. Thank you for listening in. সবাই ভালো থেকো আবার দেখা হবে. Everyone stay well. We will meet again soon.